Welcome to the Church of Mabus radio show. It's Friday night. They're trying to build a prison for me and you to live in. Prison system is what they're doing. Just briefly, I have some stories to tell. I had an incident and I got a misdemeanor. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail for legal reasons. I should be okay, but it really sucked, and I will never let that happen again because it was a nightmare. Basically, someone called the cops, a family member, and because we were loud, and there was a ruckus, and I was pushed, and my hand went out and connected as I was falling, and that was it. Just one connecting slap, and there was no bruises or anything weird like that. There's like some little red marks on her necks and stuff. Nothing to be proud of, but nonetheless, the police get here, go to the wrong house. They go to the new neighbor's house, which is always amazing when they go to the new neighbor's house and they think they called them. And I go out there and I'm like, no, right here. And they come over here and they automatically frisk me and put me in cuffs. And this is the first time I've been to jail once for a joint a long time ago. And the judge actually brought that up, but that was 20 years ago. So it didn't really count. But I was there Saturday night and Sunday. And it was the correctional facility, like the big, crazy SeaWorld for humans. And it was the most grossest place ever. It smelled like a dirty sock. And basically there was a round hub in the middle with a black guard with a COVID mask. There were white dudes that all looked the same there. But basically there was all these pods, like glass aquariums filled with people on every wall, like 8, 8, 8, 8. I was in misdemeanor, so we could come out and watch TV and eat. We could do whatever we want. Not whatever we want, but we could come out. But the people in the pods that couldn't come out, they were there for crazier stuff. And they were always trying to get you to do stuff for them, which I ignored them. They would like want you to pass a note, like, hey, put a note on the wall in the glass, trying to get me to come over to the other people there were helping them. I'm like, I ain't helping them. I ain't getting stuck in this place for the rest of my life for passing some weird thing to somebody. Plus, they were scary. They were like shirtless with tattoos, looked like the Aryan Nation. And they're like I don't know if they were, but they look like they've been there forever for their whole life.
It's funny.
Live in this glass case. They live in the aquariums. And the wall where I slept, condensation was pouring off of it. It was so humid there while it was cold outside. It finally got cold, but it was still like a weird humidity there. And the wall was just leaking water. And there was pictures all over the walls. But the worst part of it, when I left, I was like, I have the flu. And I really did. I went there on with the flu and a fever. And the whole time I had the officer was like, there's a stomach bug going around in the flu. So the whole time there, I'm just like, and there's just a sheet and a toilet in the middle of a room with 10 people. And I'm like in there late at night. And it was a nightmare. But anyway, I went before the judge. I'm on conditional release to have a court date on the 2nd or 3rd. I'll probably do no contest just to get it over with. I don't really think they're going to they may surprise me, but I think I'll stay. They'll turn me loose or keep me on that conditional release. All that is you call in once a week. It's not even probation. He's like, you can go to Alaska. You can go hang out with penguins. As long as you call me every week, you're fine, and pay the fine. It seemed like a giant money grab is all it seemed like. That's all any of that stuff is just a giant money grab. And then the worst part is it makes you worse when you go to jail, because I was like making all these friends and bringing numbers home for dudes and like friends. They seemed okay. They seemed kind of nerdy, but they were there for other stuff. One was there, a Christian guy that was there for DUI that had a relapse. He was like talking about crazy aliens in Egypt and Mayans and Aztecs. He may come on the show. Then there was a cool black dude that was a lawyer in California for 30 years. I became friends with him. He was like trying to rent me a room in his house. And then this guy,
me, you have to be naked though and walk around with your underwear.
Oh no! But get this. his mom was there with him too. She's 79 and spit on the police, and she had to be there too. And basically, he takes care of her. So I guess she did something, so she had to go too. So they are both in the same, not the same place, but I mean the same place, but not the same room. And then there's another dude that was a country dude that lives around here. And I got all their numbers and they seem cool. They were there for minor stuff, but there was creepier people there. And then the worst thing is there's like these little signs on the wall that say call this number if you're like sexually assaulted. That was really creepy. Like they have little signs all over the wall and stuff. No one bothered me. But that was enough. The weirdest thing was when I stood before the judge, I said, I got the flu. Everyone laughed at me. I didn't understand that. Why? They thought I guess I was running a con. I don't know, but I really had the flu. But for some reason, they all laughed. But anyway, it was the most terrible experience ever. I'll never break. I don't break. He asked me, do you have a speeding ticket? I was like, nope. So everyone said they would turn me loose. They do, but you got to pay them for God knows how long. It really is a big money racket. If you've ever heard the song by System of a Down, Prison Song, it's about the whole the whole system.
Lord on vacation.
They're trying to build a prison. They're trying to build a prison for me and you to live in. But anyway, that was it. It really sucked.
On vacation.
The worst part is just so disgusting there. It was just really nasty. Oh, get this. This is the craziest part. Afterwards, they take me to the courthouse, and I'm trying to get a ride home and everything. So I go into this Channel 13 newspaper place. So I'm like, is there a lobby around here I can sit? I'm freezing, and I don't have a shirt. And I made the mistake of saying I got out on a misdemeanor, which I should have just shut up. But he goes, you can go down there to the county commissioner and sit in their lobby. So I go down to the county commissioner. Now I'm someone that never leaves their house. So this is a lot for me in 2-3 days. I was doing Jack Nicholson impersonations to the cops, making them laugh. And they showed me an Amazon page. Is this you? Like they act like I was Brad Pitt or something, which of course I'm not. But anyway, I go to the county commissioner's office just to sit in there and use the restroom and wait for my ride because it's like 30 degrees outside. Next thing you know, a cop lady comes in and she's kind of hot. But anyway, she comes in and she goes by and I'm like, surely she's not here for me. I'm not doing anything. I'm being peaceful, just waiting for my ride. And I went to go use the restroom and the lady there goes, she came back there. I was looking for you. I didn't see you come out. Or I said I took a wrong turn because I accidentally took a wrong turn. It's like a big building and I went the wrong way. So I thought that was a little weird. So I'm sitting out there and then the cop comes and sits next to me. And basically for loitering. And she writes my address, not my address, my phone number, my name on her arm. And basically she let me go. I didn't do anything wrong, but they called her. So that was my second cop experience in 2 days. So now I'm never leaving my house ever for the rest of my life. I already do that, but I always get in trouble. And then when I was in there, it's like I attract trouble. So I'm already like dudes, dealers trying to, I'm like building a gang in there. And I'm joking, saying when the apocalypse happens, we're going to be Robin Hood.
Yo, what's up, man?
And they're all like wanting to be in the, I felt like I was making a gang. But anyway, they seemed nice, the guys that were with me. They were friendly. But other than that, it's over until that date, and hopefully nothing else happens. But I've learned my lesson. I ain't going back there because that's some scary shit. Terrifying. Horrible. And it really did smell like a crusty, dead sock that was in a locker room for the rest of your life.
And stories that would outshine that.
So we can tell the Charlie Manson story. We've told it. One day you were at a party.
No, it wasn't a party.
Okay, it was just a house.
I can tell you the whole thing if you want me to.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. I'm hanging out with my friend Ben Meyer of Nasty Savage. He's a guitarist, Nasty Savage, who's my roommate. And he says, hey, let's go over to, I'm not going to say his name, house. And I'm like, oh, cool. I don't know why he wants to go over there, but I'll go along, whatever. It's always interesting going over to blah, blah, blah's house. He has a serial killer, museum in his house. It's kind of weird.
Whoa,
And
that sounds weird.
he's friends with he was friends with all of them in prison, talking to him, and he's got all kinds of memorabilia. And I'm like, okay, this is weird, whatever. But I've known him all his life, and he's harmless. But anyway, he says he's talking on the phone. He says, "Hey, Johann, grab this phone, talk to this guy. I'm sure you should want to talk to him." And I picked the phone. I said, "Hello, who's this?" My usual. He said, "This is Charlie Manson." And I knew that it was because
It sounded like him.
no. And he started talking in like riddles, and I said, "Look, talk to me plain. There ain't nobody listening to us except your handlers over there, and they're probably bored with you." And so we started having a regular conversation. Believe it or not, he was a regular guy.
What are you talking
He
about?
told me that he was framed from day one. He wasn't part of any of that crap. I'm telling you, it's so controversial for me to say it. People are going to want to punch me in the face for saying it, but I'm just telling the truth what happened. He said he had nothing to do with it. He was just an old hippie in California, and he wasn't the leader of that group like they claimed he was. They just scapegoated him, and it went south. That's why he put a swastika on his forehead, because he was guilty before he's like, why bother with anything? I'm already guilty. Why have any defense? There is no defense. I'm guilty. He was guilty before he went to court. Before he was guilty. And the Beach Boys guys, they backed away from him. I don't know if you know, but he had a bunch of work with the Beach Boys.
Yeah.
And one of them was actually over there at that time when all this was down. So he should have been arrested too.
Crazy. Whatever happened with his body? Didn't someone try to take it? They wanted to take it.
Or something. He had family members that were fighting over it, and I'm like, who cares?
What happened to it though? Do we know?
I have no idea. I never said it. I have enough drama in my life with my band stuff.
Yeah.
My book, my arts, my stuff I do. It's a lot. I do a lot of work. It just keeps me out of. I hate the news. Hate politics. Hate religion. Screw it all. Wait. I do got one thing to add. This is the Church of Mabus, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And you told me what that means yesterday, right?
Yeah, this is Nostradamus stuff, just like a satiric. It means all sorts of stuff, but yeah, Nostradamus.
There's a girl around here in Tampa who swears that I'm the Antichrist. She says me, Johann, Johnny Zoltar, is the living embodiment of Satan himself. I'm like, wow. And used to say she's on a lot of drugs.
Yeah, I've been called stuff like that before too. It happens, but I don't think.
Well, no, I mean, I was involved in some pretty dark bands back then, but all them guys, I'll tell you that all the ones in the most satanic bands, that's a stage show. What goes on in real life is not what goes on off stage. Off stage, you're like puppy dogs.
So tell us about your music. How did it first start out, and what were some of the bands that you were inspired by at first? And I know you started meeting some of these people. If you want to get into some of that kind of stuff, your origin story, so to speak.
Well, in 1985, I was at McLean Junior High School, and I was in music classes all my life before then. For a 13-year-old, say all my life. A 15-year-old, all my life, whatever. It's funny. But I was in music classes, and I was in a guitar class, and we had a number of very famous guitarists in that guitar class that went on to major fame today. I'm not going to say their names. Name dropping silly. But me and a couple of friends, Paul Fassel, Brian Sneed, Jimmy Riles decided, hey, why don't we start a band? There's this new music going around here called death metal. And it just, it started in Brandon with a band called Massacre. And they were the first ones to actually have that.
Yeah.
And, so we went, and that weekend we practiced for the first time. 3 guitarists, 1 drummer. He said, one of you guys got to play bass. And I said, not me. I'm a guitarist. I'm a trained guitarist. I don't know if you know who Christopher Parkening is.
Oh, who's that?
Oh, he was a guitarist that was Andre Segovia's teacher. I mean, he was a student. Andre Segovia, the basic inventor of the modern classical guitar. And I got a personal lesson by him, and I learned more in that hour than I have all my life. He said, take everything you've learned in all those books and throw it in the trash. And that blew me away. He said, play from the heart. And all the best guitarists I know, they all say the same thing. Everybody I know, they're all trying to, all these other musicians out there, they're talking about all the, doodads they got. They got all these new doodads, and they got these new amplifiers and new fancy guitars. I was like, but you can play. Can you play? What can you play? Show me something you could do. Now, don't do a cover. Do what you can do. Oh, yeah, that was Apocalyptic Death. And that was a fun band. And then I said we wanted to do live shows. Brian's like, I don't want to do live shows. No way. I don't want to get in front of the public. And me and Paul looked at each other like, we got to go. And so we left, and we started basically Team Zoltar, which was a punk band. It was quite legendary back in the day because we were pulling in 400 or 500 kids every show. And we swore we'd never record. If you want to hear us, the only way to hear us is to come do the show.
I see this one. Like Johnny Zoltar and the Robots, The Doom That Came to Dance.
That's some AI stuff.
I saw it on the thing.
The next band that you'll see is the Demo Raps. And particularly, there's a song in there called Poultrygeist. And that, as we speak, I could say this. The director gave me permission to say that song, Poultrygeist, is in the new Poultrygeist 2, whatever, Night of the Chicken Dead. I think.
Trauma movie.
I'm going to try to find it.
I've seen it. It was funny. And I was someone that used to. I used to watch trauma movies. I was like, "What the hell is this?" Now I appreciate them a little bit.
I've known Lloyd all as far back as I remember.
You've hung out with him, you said?
Oh God, you could say that.
Where? What state was that?
Florida.
Oh, he hangs out in Florida. That's cool.
No. When he goes to conventions, I'm picking him up from the airport, and
wow.
I don't know how to use. I don't know how to use this. I don't know how to use this. I don't know how to use Instagram. I don't know how you find your messages.
I know I saw him in the new Toxic Avenger, and I know you said that there was a lot of problems with that he left the set or something like that. But
no, yeah, don't.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't want anybody to get butthurt.
Gotcha. But I like the new one. It wasn't terrible, but the old ones traumatized me when I was a kid. The running over heads and stuff. For some reason, that really affected me as a kid, and it always creeped me out.
How many times that scene was redone and the car flipped over?
How many? I don't know.
Oh wait. It's funny because when we got done shooting Poltergeist 1, dun, 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 dun.
There it is. You have his autograph on there too. Wow.
A real clucker, that's what he calls me.
Lloyd Kaufman, the legend.
I was doing my first job with that was scouting locations to find a restaurant to use. That was neat.
You ever meet James Gunn?
Oh man, I'm not going to acknowledge it. Yes,
Okay.
I'm not going to acknowledge it.
Okay. I know he got his start and all that stuff.
Yeah, he did.
And Harley
Tell me the name of the movie.
Slither.
Too. Oh, that's a conversation him and I had as we were laying on this concrete floor. We were talking about all these movies that I really like, and I was talking about Slither.
Yeah,
And I had no idea that he was the director and actually made that movie. I said, man, it was just so cool with those little maggots and the bathroom scene with
that movie's crazy.
But there's an uncensored version of that we'll never see.
The movie's sick. Definitely weird. I like it. I have that Romeo and Juliet. I never watched it, but I think that
Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah. I have it on DVD. I never watched it, but
are you kidding me?
I'll have to watch it at some point.
James Gunn, I think he made that.
Yeah, he made it. That's where I got it, I think.
Give me a second.
Okay.
I gotta find my stuff.
But now James Gunn is the main dude at DC Comics. That's just made the new Superman movie and made Guardians of the Galaxy with Kurt Russell and all those people. Hold it up again so I can make your own damn movie. Is that by him or someone else?
Right. When I first met him at a convention, it was in a big convention in Orlando, and nobody was there. It was before it was open. We had our own booth doing something, whatever we were doing. And I went over and I talked to him. I said, hey, man, you have no idea how much inspiration you are to me. I'm like, how do I get my music into your movies? And I saw this book sitting there, Make Your Own Damn Movie. I said, what is that? I never dreamed I could make my own damn movie. And I've made now 15 movies, of which 4 were released. Homicidal Maniac 2, The Demon Club, The Demon House.
Homicidal Maniac Part 8.
But what's funny is I never got to tell a story that I originally intended with that movie because it just wasn't possible.
Yeah.
And I had a problem. My best friend who was the villain. He was a villain, all right. Couldn't keep his whatchamajiggy in his pants.
Uh-oh.
Yep. Had a problem with that real bad. He was talking bad about me. I'm sorry, drama. Yeah. That's why I don't like to make movies anymore because of all the drama involved.
Yeah. But that's cool that you met him and James. That's awesome for sure.
You know who Joel Weinkoop is? Joel D. The King of the B movies.
Sounds familiar.
Oh, we can get him on here. He'd love to do this.
What kind of movies has he done?
Oh my God, he's done probably 10,000 movies from the 70s. Truth or Dare, Truth or Dare 2. There's just 1,000 of them. And we just did one last year. Well, whenever we were in lockdown, and I played the role of Satan, where we were talking like this. Everyone was like talking.
Yeah.
It was stupid. Sorry, did I say that aloud? Sorry, Joel, if you're watching.
He's not.
I'm sure he is. Watches everything I do.
But so I know you were taking some videos of UFOs. Has that still been going on? You were getting some videos.
Well, I've been watching. The thing that caught my attention is every night I'm hearing jets from MacDill. Like they got it on. They're trying to take off slow, but I know the damn roar of them damn jets. And I look out and there's F-22s flying overhead. And they take off every morning. And C-130s, C-150s. But MacDill's where supposedly where some of those UFO craft were actually at. They had that base in Jacksonville, and then the Area 51, obviously.
Cool.
But Greenland, they found something in Greenland.
What did they find in Greenland?
They found a craft under 20,000 years of ice or some crap like that, 10,000 years of ice. So,
Is that watch and
then they made it all disappear. You don't see anything on it. I just looked for it. I do see a brief mention of it. I looked it up, and there's I forgot his name. I see videos of it.
The crash retrieval guy?
No, he used to be a Fox host, and then he got kicked out for being a feller.
Definitely. You've heard different things about Antarctica and Greenland and stuff like that. I mean, I haven't heard Greenland before, but it doesn't surprise me that there's stuff. I knew somebody once that was on Robert Bigelow's star team from MUFON, Chase Klowetsky, and she wanted me to make Mabus into like a MUFON, and it was a lot of work, so I didn't do it. But and then later she went to KGR Radio and had a lot of problems with them, and they had some weird pedo stuff. But anyway, she told me that she was on the star team really there, and she had to report to Robert Bigelow, and they would go to UFO crash sites.
Yeah, there it is. I just found it. NASA detected a giant void under Greenland.
Huh.
And it's supposed to be, that's where one of the bases are. So but it's all hearsay. Who knows what's real?
Yeah, that's the big problem with it. And then she said that she looked at their computer called the God computer, and there was nothing on it at MUFON, which that doesn't surprise me. But at one point, Bigelow owned MUFON, but got rid of it. Like he does everything, throws it away like cheap trash. But so tell us about the name Johnny Zoltar and the Robots. What's the influence behind that? The name.
Well, Johnny Zoltar was my name in the band Team Zoltar. I was the lead singer of the band Team Zoltar. And I just kept it. And Team Zoltar was what it was. We were a crust punk band where I did quite terrible things on stage that are not mentionable here. Like I said, it was a stage show.
Yeah.
And the women that I did stuff to on there begged me to do those things.
Was it some G.G. Allen kind of stuff?
No, not that far. I won't do. I know, but yeah. That show is actually there's the Murder Junkies that's playing here in town tonight, and I'm doing this instead of being there.
You know, I saw that movie by was it Todd Phillips that did the Joker with Joaquin Phoenix? Did that movie? I saw it with Fred's when I was at drugs real bad, and I don't think I want to watch it again. The Wood Tide was enough for that one movie, that documentary. I probably would watch it again, but it was pretty horrible. I mean, it was good, but disgusting. He was definitely some disgusting stuff in it, for sure.
You ever heard his country album?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, you ought to try that. Give it a listen.
You did a country album recently, didn't you?
No, let's not talk about that. I had one. Matter of fact, I may delete it.
Uh-oh.
I hate country. No offense to anybody out there, but I hate country with all of my heart.
There's none of it? None of it? I like Johnny Cash and like...
No, well, okay. I liked...
a lot of it I don't like.
Ooh, White Lightning. What was it? My daddy
Charlie Daniels?
No. He's old. George Jones.
Okay.
Old George Jones was funny. Good. Before he got with his wife, whoever that was, and caused all the problems in his life, and he started drinking heavy, and
There was
Ruined
a
his career.
there was a show about that, and Michael Shannon played him. I didn't get to watch it, but I would. I like Michael Shannon.
I don't know who that is.
She
I don't
lived-
know
you
how
know,
that's.
Michael Shannon, you don't know who that is? That's
Oh.
a weird. Oh yeah.
I
Okay.
gotta tell you, man. People tell me the guy where we're practicing at with this the band Johnny Zoltar. We're practicing with new drumming. He was going to be on the show. He did say I could say his name now. I'm going to say David Ruffin. He used to be an MMA fighter. He's my drummer, big black guy who could. I'm telling you, I've had some really good drummers in my life, and he's never played in any bands. And I was like, wow. He was playing, there's things that I look for in a drummer, like practice drummers that are good, and I'll just walk out and start playing. Like, no, but this guy who's self-taught was playing the jazz style, with his hands, and for doing real fast, what's called blast beats in death metal, you got to have the jazz style. It's technique. Or your back's gonna go out. You're gonna hurt yourself. Drumming is so physical, but this guy has no problem with it. Dave Ruffin, I can't wait to start with him Monday night. We're gonna be is our first session. We did meet about 2 weeks ago. We were joined a hardcore band for a second, and we both decided no, I don't want to do. Well, the guy who ran the band told me no lead guitar, and I'm like, oh, not me. I'm a lead guitarist. You're telling me I can't play lead guitar? Why am I even here? And he didn't even know any of his own songs. Like, wow.
Crazy. What's some other things we could talk about before we play music? Secrets that we could talk about. Not secrets, but secrets. Something good. What about when you say you had a paranormal experience?
Oh man.
A lot.
Tons of them. When I was shooting not Horny Self for Evil, it was the Demon Club at the Cuban Club. I got some stuff on camera that it was a horror movie, and I didn't put that stuff in the movie because it freaked me out. Okay, we had to turn off the air conditioner. We had to turn off all the electricity except the electricity that was going to the camera and the lights. So there was nothing on. There was nothing. There was nobody in the building. Upstairs, downstairs, nobody in the building. And you could clearly hear on tape, "Free Mati, free Mati." Mati, do you know who Mati was in Cuban?
That name somewhere.
Yeah.
Who is it?
Well, the Cuban Club is where the Cuban Revolution actually started. In Ybor City, Tampa here. And the Cuban Club is old is unbelievably old. I think of the four, there's the German Club, which ended up being the water company for Tampa. I don't know what's doing it now. And the Italian Club, which is where the Trafficani family was working out of till the 90s, the Tampa Mafia. And then there's the Italian Club. What's the fourth one? Oh, the Spanish Club. And the Cuban Club, of course, differentiates from the Spanish Club because they don't like each other for some odd reason, which is kind of weird. But I learned a lot about Cuban culture. But I could tell you that place is the most haunted place I've ever been in my life. And anyone who does not believe in that stuff, I challenge you. Go to the Cuban Club in Tampa, Florida for yourself. If they let you walk around, they let you walk around. But I could tell you this, the big stairs, don't let your girlfriend or female walk up the stairs by herself because there's a ghost that grabs They're heinies.
Wow.
And one of the things I got on camera, I'm at the bottom of the stairs and have a shot where Jamie Lee's walking up the stairs. I'm at the bottom, and one of our takes, she turned around and slapped my hand away. Don't grab my butt. I said, I'm down here. So the butt grabber is a true story.
Do they know what the ghost is? They know what ghost it is?
Ghosts. There was a real famous in the Cuban Revolution. He killed himself in the theater level of the Cuban Club. He hung himself in the theater. So we were. I was involved in a number of ghost chases and all that, and the ghost chasing cameras and the orbs I got are incredible. Like we got orbs all over, on camera. And if you look closely at the orbs, it's really freaky. If you look close, you zoom in on we're talking about, it's not digital. This is before digital. We didn't have digital back then.
Yeah.
You zoom in and you look at the orbs and their faces.
In the orbs.
Yep.
I know I had a medicine man, Itzhak Berry, I believe a shaman from Israel, say that the dead can travel in balls of light. So it's like one of their forms of transportation, the orb.
Yeah, that's something else we should talk about.
Let's do it.
Did we talk about the Temple of Baal before? BAAL?
I don't think we did, but we did. You did yesterday when we were testing stuff. But if you want to talk about it, go ahead. Where did you have that? I remember you tell you something about it.
Well, Epstein Isle isn't what they're telling you it is. There's you can't find it now. All of a sudden, everything is gone. I should have downloaded, copied, printed what I found. But on that island, there's a giant temple, and in the temple, in front of it, is a symbol of Baal, B-A-A-L. The Temple of Baal has been since the Sumerian culture, where they got kicked out of Samaria by one of the kings of Samaria. And oddly enough, they got kicked out of Samaria and got sent to Ukraine, thousands of years back then. During Sumerian times, they got kicked out and got sent to Ukraine. And this is not something I'm making up. There was a history. And I guess when it started, coming out, people they wiped it. So I kind of think that the Ukraine thing is about a lot more than what they're telling us it is. The Temple of Baal is a downright evil organization. And you have to be Jewish to be a member. And they sacrifice children. We have so many children in this country, around the world, who've just disappeared and there's no track of them, right? I mean, we all know how many children are just being disappeared, but why isn't that? Why does nobody talk about these kind of things? We talk about what actually happened to the kids.
I know today they released a lot more Epstein stuff. There's something about George Bush doing something to a child and sacrifice. There's all kinds of stuff about Trump Gooch and all kinds of stuff in it, but
well, it's a lot more than I'm telling you that the line of I know I'm not talking politics now. I'm talking about all politicians, all levels, Democrat, Republican, Schmiegelism, whatever you are, whatever. President, kings, they all went to Epstein Isle to do something at that temple.
Basically, they said that they would go to Mar-a-Lago and measure young girls' vaginas and have auctions based on their depth or whatever of that.
I don't believe 10% of that shit. The Temple of Baal thing actually makes more sense.
Yeah.
Crazy as that sounds, that makes more sense. Because according to that Oprah Winfrey, the same, they're saying Oprah Winfrey, eats babies, whatever. I don't believe anything I see anymore. Sorry.
A lot of it's lies, but I mean, that's one of the weird things about the right. They put out these big weird lists of all these celebrities that are dead and in Gitmo. Like, according to a lot of people on the right, they say Adam Sandler and all these people are in Gitmo and have been executed. Like, they have weird, crazy fake lists of dead celebrities in Gitmo.
That's the right and left that are doing that. But the question I ask is this: who is shaking the tree? Who is shaking the right's tree and who's shaking the left's tree? And they're fighting each other over stuff that's all fictional. If you look at it and say what's real and what's not, I don't believe somebody's shaking the tree. This is a psyop from hell. If you know what a psyop is.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is a psyop because if you're left leaning, someone's shaking your tree and getting you aggravated and get you pissed, telling you all the stuff that it's going to touch all buttons, and then people on the right, well, those leftists out there, the left-wing liberals are going to kill us. They're going to kill us all. They're going to walk around with guns. And that's okay. But the point is that the trees are getting shaken. As someone who has 30 years of college, and more college than just about anybody. Professor Wham, are you actually a professor?
Yep.
Where are you a professor at?
Well, I have a PhD. I have taught at the university level, but I am not. I retired from teaching some years ago.
What did you teach, if you don't mind me asking?
I taught a lot of things. My degrees were in philosophy, religious studies, and cultural studies, mostly the religious history of the United States. But I taught world history. I taught Western and Eastern Civ. I taught American history.
Do you know anything about the Temple of Baal, if you don't mind me asking?
Not. I know of several ruins that are called that, but I do not know of what you are speaking.
Baal.
No, I know Baal I know the history, at least the religious history, the accepted religious history of that particular deity. He was the term itself just is simply a title that means God or a male god, and it was a very common deity name throughout what we now call the Middle East and the Near East. It's of Canaanite origin. So there were a number of temples to Baal. Baal was one of the original deities worshipped in what is now the state of Israel.
Now here we go. You're getting close.
But the name Baal also just means like Lord. That's what I mean. It's like, in fact, in archaic Hebrew, like the Hebrew of the Old Testament or the Hebrew Bible, Baal is actually a name that's used kind of generically to refer to any free male. So, any free male, in other words, it was kind of like a title, like we would say Mr. So-and-so. It was a title. It was just a word that was used to designate a free male of a particular status. So it was not something that necessarily at different times in history, it didn't have the certain distinction that you're referring to right now.
I just looked it up. I got Chat GPT Pro, and I looked it up. It says Baal, also spelled B-A-L, is a title, ancient Semitic language that literally means Lord, Master, or Owner.
Right.
Sometimes it was used as a name or honorific for various old gods, especially in the Levant area of modern
Levant. Well, the Levant is what is now Syria. Parts of Iraq.
But there was a lot of wasn't that Samaria I think, stretched all the way to where it
So
was.
Sumeria is a region, yeah, I mean the Sumerians are there's a couple different things Sumerian means. It refers to a civilization. It also refers to a language. And it also refers to a region at different times. It's not just one thing. But the Sumerian civilization is considered to be probably one of the oldest civilizations, at least in the Middle East. And what distinguished them was their development of cuneiform, which is became a lingua franca, at least in its hieratic form, throughout much of the Middle East.
I have to ask you this though. According to India, India lore,
Right?
there's they go back
Yeah, I do.
tens of thousands of years, which doesn't, according to Christian law, shouldn't exist.
Well, are we talking about India Indians? Or are we talking about indigenous?
India.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, there's certainly their civilization. Their civilizations go back further than was previously thought.
A lot.
But lots of civilizations make claims for their antiquity that archaeology has not yet proved.
Well,
so
I got one for you. I'm a nerd too. And we've all read H.P. Lovecraft, right?
Mm-hmm.
Strange where he got his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Where did he get his stuff? He had no. I don't even think he had a college education.
I think that he got it from several places. I mean, he read widely, and I do think that he had a certain intuitive capacity. I mean, he himself said that a lot of his stuff came in dreams, and I think that there's a certain kind of types of intuitive material that can come from dreams.
Sarnath is a real place.
But he was certainly interested in ancient archaeology, and did imbibe quite. He had lots of friends too. He had a wide. I mean, we think of him as this little hermit guy.
Robert Howard were best friends.
Yeah, well, he actually had throughout his life, he had a very wide correspondence group, and so they discussed lots of different ideas. And I think he got his stuff from lots of places.
But I'm going to say this, that it's going to be a little controversial. There was a real Necronomicon, the Book of the Dead, that supposedly, where he got all stuff that supposedly he wrote in the 20s. Then how come I have a copy? Sorry, I don't have it anymore. But it was from the 1800s. And what it included was the published Book of Spells and the Necronomicon. If you put them both together, it makes the whole book.
Mm-hmm.
And it talks about what the nine dimensions or whatever, and that's what they have in string theory. That's what they show in string theory, how many dimensions are.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same thing that's in the Necronomicon, which is countless ages old. And I don't know if he actually got his stuff from.
Well, what I will say is, I've been reading. I was reminded of something today. I've been reading through Jacques Vallée's volumes of Forbidden Science, and in one place he talks about how he in one of his little salon, he always had academics kind of get together and talk about things. He liked to talk about different ideas. And when he moved to California, Southern California, in the late 60s, some of the people that he came into contact with through the Stanford Research Institute were academics, were specialists in linguistics and in history, and he was reminded, or he realized, he claims he had sort of known this but had never investigated it, but he was reminded by a new acquaintance that he had, that he met there, that a lot of this information, a lot of very esoteric information that later made its way into Western occultism actually came, I mean, it has its origins in the Middle East and in India, but it actually came through Islamic scholars in the Middle Ages. And it was during maybe from maybe about the 15th century to the 18th century, there was this huge influx of translated materials that started coming from that had been preserved or had been passed on by Islamic scholars, a lot of esoteric stuff, a lot of occultism.
Oh, yeah.
And he talks about some of those texts, and a lot of those texts that what you're referring to, a lot of that information actually comes through that mechanism. So, especially the symbolism of the 9, the symbolism of 11, the kind of very esoteric numerology. Certainly the Muslims found and preserved a lot of Babylonian and Sumerian stuff that they came across because they had lived in those areas for so long. So I think that, I don't necessarily doubt. I mean, certainly Peter Levenda talks about, coming in contact with a book that was referred to as the Necronomicon back in the 1960s, that he actually had it in his hands. So, the word Necronomicon just refers to, it refers to conjurations of the dead or from the realm of the dead. So it wouldn't surprise me if there were actually several different texts that may have had that title.
What's all about Marduk?
Yeah, well, Marduk was a Sumerian deity of rebirth.
Arashuku.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all of those creatures.
Friendliest of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Who isn't very friendly?
A lot of Sumerian deities were not very friendly necessarily.
They're supposed to be the friendliest of them all, and wow.
We had Peter Levenda on before. I think Beazle was here, and we asked him about his part in the Simon paperbacks, and he acknowledged it. And I'm sure he's been asked that a million times and gets sick of it, but he doesn't deny it. But he kind of skirts around it in a weird way. But he's definitely was involved.
Well, if you read not the book, the Necronomicon, but there's like another book that's kind of like it's kind of like a history of the text and an explanation of the text.
It's Book of Spells, which is
well, the Book of Spells. The Book of Spells is separate. This is actually like a book of commentary about the Necronomicon, and the whole first part of it is clearly written by Levenda. It's in his style. It basically. Because he's got a very distinctive voice, a very distinctive writing style. It's deaf, and he basically the same story that he tells is more or less told in that first part. So it's like, so he clearly knows about it. He just doesn't want to talk about it.
Unholy Alliance.
This is now backing up my story. Okay, I see that one of the most. I just had ChatGPT. I have ChatGPT Pro. A lot of people don't have that, but I use the research end of it, where it'll actually. I ask it to find sources of everything you say. It can give me any bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And There's one in the temple of Palmyra in Syria,
Mhm.
which is what most people are, call, but ISIS destroyed that.
You're right.
But there's one in Baalbek, Lebanon,
Hmm. Yeah.
and it supposedly survives today.
Yeah.
Destroyed.
Yeah, Lebanon, a number of those really important temples and ruin sites have survived in Lebanon.
I'm looking at actual pictures of it. It's pretty incredible.
The first book I came across by Peter Levenda was in my droger days, and it was Unholy Alliance. I remember being
Yeah. That's his Nazi trilogy,
yeah, that
or
was
part of his Nazi trilogy.
do lines off.
You have an N-word. That's our N-word. I tell you, Germans, we get triggered pretty hard with that N-word.
Yeah, and I remember they used to.
I'll show you what Nazi is. Oh, you call me a Nazi? Hold on, let me show you.
Interesting. We were talking about UFOs and them. I mean, I know Joseph Farrell seems to think that they were doing that, and a lot of people think they were messing with a technology on some level. But some people say they weren't, but I think they were, weren't they? Messing with UFO stuff, Nazis.
Germany's. Damn, you wouldn't call them Nazis.
Okay.
Terrible name. It's actually like it's a slur word. It's a bad slur word.
Okay.
But and in fact, I really don't want to get into it. I don't want to get into all that because that's going to be misinterpreted. No matter how you say it, it's going to be misinterpreted. So, yes, they were studying, and that bell. I think we all know about the bell. Do you know about the bell?
Yes.
Do you know where it appeared?
I don't remember, but we've had Joseph Farrell on about it and asked him about it and stuff. But I don't know. It's been a while. It's been a while.
You ready to get your mind blown?
Let's do it.
Okay. What's the guy? Lordy. Okay, there was Tesla. Nikola Tesla, right?
Yes.
When he was in New York, and he was doing his tests in New York. You know about that, right? He was building a machine. A machine that was, well, for energy. Do you know who the guy was who funded that?
Trump's uncle?
Trump's granddad.
I heard something like that. Yeah, I've heard something like that.
Supposedly, when they were making that, and he got it working for the first time, the bell appeared right there.
Huh.
And supposedly, if you like the Germans were researching ley lines, whatever those are. I don't believe anything I hear, but that's the rumors that the ley lines directly go from there to that island in New York where Nikola Tesla built that thing, because you can get the energy from the earth, and the energy is endless. And then when Trump Senior or whatever said, "Oh, what do you mean it's free? We don't want to give people free energy. We want to charge people for it." So he shut the whole thing down. And Tesla basically got chased out of New York. And then he went to Colorado or whatever. That's a spot where that island, oddly enough, where I think they built a nuclear power plant at the same spot. And do any of you guys know about the New York power plant that went belly up, that let some of its gas? I don't know.
Oh, are you talking about Indian Point?
I'm not sure.
Because the only nuclear power plant that is close to the city that has been decommissioned recently was not on an island. It was actually on the banks of the Hudson River, and it was called.
Did you go bonk? It let radiation out?
That was not in New York.
Oh.
That was in a different state, but it was not in New York.
So you can believe only 10% of what you hear from people.
Well, a lot of people get various places on the East Coast confused, just like, people on the East Coast get various places on the West Coast confused. And then
Tampa's near Miami. We're in Tampa, but it's only a half an hour ride to Miami. But
right.
if you live in Tampa, well, how long it takes to get Tampa from Tampa? It takes an hour to get to Tampa from Tampa. Traffic is bad.
But yeah, I mean, there was a nuclear power plant called Indian Point that was recently decommissioned. It was kind of in the not Terrytown. It was outside of New York City proper, but it was kind of in the close suburbs. But it was right on the bank of the Hudson. The company that's decommissioning it happened last year actually, did stupidly release some radioactive materials into the Hudson River, which caused quite a kerfluffle here. As you can imagine, I live in mid-Hudson. So
you're up there.
Yeah. It's about -10 outside right now, so we're very much in the cold at the moment. But you're talking about that nuclear incident that occurred in the late 1970s.
I'm looking it up right now. If you like, I'm gonna tell you, there's nothing like ChatGPT thinking.
Oh, I do not use artificial intelligence.
Well, if you use
Three Mile Island is what you're talking about. And that happened that was in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, which is kind of in the middle of the state. And that happened in March 28th, 1979.
All ChatGPT does, the new one, anything it tells you, it will give you its sources. Unlike any other AI, it will search and give you the sources. So if you're researching, you can ask it to research something, and then it'll give you sources where it got it from, and they're actual sources. Like sources that, like if I'm writing a paper in college, I wish I had this when I was in college. I didn't have any.
I'll put it this way. That's nice. I prefer to look up my own sources. So I'm old-fashioned that way. I learned how to do stuff without AI, so I don't really need AI.
I've been using it for court advice.
I mean, I use a couple of AIs at work, just simply because I'm responsible for certain types of statistical work, and they do that stuff faster than I do. But but they're very limited, and they do just very specific things.
Okay.
Let us know when you want to play music. You don't have to do it now, but we want to do it.
Oh, man, I do. I really do. But this conversation is getting so good, man.
Well, we can do it like the last few minutes or something like that. We end at 5 till.
Or you can do an intermission,
Yeah. Just let me know. We want to do something, but.
I've got like you heard a little bit of what I had going there, but it's a very short demo of this industrial. I'm going to call it dance industrial goth death metal.
Nice. So you got any cryptid stuff? You ever had any cryptid sightings or anything cool about cryptids like Bigfoot or Mothman or anything weird?
Yeah, absolutely. In Lake City, Florida. My buddy Paul had a big, before he passed. He might have been the same one from the Homicide Maniac movies. Oddly, where we shot the Homicide Maniac movies was up there in Lake City. But he had 22 acres of land. He's still there. The land is still there. And I'm telling you that one night we heard something that didn't sound like. I've been in the woods all my life, rednecking out in the woods all my life. Redneck metal, computer nerd. But that's hot. We heard a roar. That was not. There's no animal that does that. I don't know of any animal that made that sound. I've went and researched it. And then the next day, when it was light, me and Paul decided to go out in that direction and look. And we found these holes. Like they looked like sinkholes, but they were not sinkholes. They were strange. And at the bottom of them, there was a bunch of bones. It was a sinkhole. That wouldn't be. So the new theory of what these skunk apes are, amongst other nerds, because I go to a lot of nerd conventions, like the Necronomicon convention here in Tampa, where I sat there for hours talking to NASA scientists, whatever, about whatever. And the consensus now is that these skunk apes and these Bigfoots, whatever, they live underground. Like we know now that there are, especially under Florida, there's giant caves directly underneath. There's like big aqueduct, and who knows what's down there. It's never been explored. Nobody's ever looked. And it sure as all. Why would you want to? Because they didn't. Basically, Florida's like almost like an island floating on in an aquifer. And these, we think that's where they are. I believe that is a pre-hominid. Well, it wouldn't be pre. We don't know who they are. I don't know. Nothing makes sense to me. As a scientist, I wouldn't know what the hell it is. I wouldn't know what the definition of what it is. I mean, is it Cro-Magnon man? Is it some form of Cro-Magnon man? I don't know.
The Nephilim.
Here we go.
What about I was gonna have you ever meet Henry Rollins? Or know any Henry Rollins stuff? I know he's speaking out. He's speaking out the advanced thing.
Every time I'm supposed to, something comes up. He's like a curse for me. If he comes here and he does a spoken word tour, which I'm dying to see, every time something happens. It's one of those things.
Like a lightning strike.
That's just a perfect. I don't know. Feel cursed.
He's being vocal about speaking out against what's going on right now. I've seen a lot of quotes from him lately.
Yeah, but I say again, who's shaking his tree? Who's shaking your tree? That you got to look at. When you looking at these psyops, who is shaking the tree? What's the purpose of this? Who's making you angry, and why are they making you angry? What are they telling you? Is it the truth? Because I'm telling you, there's a psyop operation going on right now all over the world. Like, I have a friend of mine who's telling me that, in Britain, they're being overrun by Muslims, and the Muslims are overtaking everything. I'm telling you, if that was true, King George, the king, he'd be stomping some ass. King is still a king in Britain. The king is actually a king in Britain, and he can do whatever he wants. He's a king. He's actual monarch. And I called. I have some friends in Birmingham, England. If you know the grindcore scene, there's quite a few bands that come out of Birmingham. So I'm like, okay, well, I happen to know some people out there, so I call them. They're like, what the hell are you talking about? If that shit went down, they would get stopped. Because there is still the old skinheads, and they're not what you would call skinhead here. Not what they were. Just they were factory workers that shaved their head and they drank after work. this cult, but they were kind of known for whooping ass because they were drinking a lot, and well, that's what they do, and they go all over Britain, and they don't know of any Muslim takeovers, and but I do know this, that will shake people's trees about Muslims. That's a trigger, because their faith is not a faith that it's not very friendly. Sorry to say that. It's not very friendly to non-Muslims.
And
What's true with that? I don't know. I don't know what I believe.
I know they had that guy from the J6 things that was wearing a Dropkick Murphys shirt that talked about the ends.
Damn. Dropkick Murphys. Boy, I could tell you some stories. Woo!
You've met him?
Did shows with him.
Oh, really? Well, tell us. That's cool.
Man. You asked me. Okay, like I
He had a
said,
shirt that was like fighting Nazis since.
I don't remember. Like there's stories about me that people tell me, hey, I did this and hey, I did that. I don't remember, because I got to tell you that I was kind of the king of the party, man, back then. And it was nonstop. That's why I have my family, my parents, they despise me because I was apparently a monster. But now I'm older. I'm 56 years old, and I'm apparently grown up. And I acknowledge I was a monster. Only if I was going to college the whole time. Take one class or another.
Things are just so crazy on so many levels right now. It's hard to even keep up with it. It's
Dropkick. Yeah. I just remember the parties, like Napalm Death. Do you know of Napalm Death?
Yeah, we've heard of them.
Pretty close to Barney. Mitch Harris did the soundtrack. He used the guitars for all the big albums Napalm ever did, and he did the soundtrack for Assault Maniac. And you ever heard Nazi Punks Fuck Off by them? Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, the name of the song, so I'm not. Whatever.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of that.
Idol. It's not a whatever. It was originally done by the Dead Kennedys, and that's all interesting too. Jello Biafra, that's another big interesting story. All of a sudden, he's the anti-hero. Nobody likes him anymore because supposedly he's hard left. Like, what part of that didn't you get when you were listening to his lyrics? What part of the Dead Kennedys did you not get those lyrics? Did you read the lyrics? Did you bother to pay attention to what the hell Jello Biafra was saying? No, of course not. They'll tell you the same thing. Who's shaking your tree? That's actually who I got that from. Jello would tell you, if he was sitting here talking to us, he would say to you, who is shaking your tree?
I was surprised so many people were saying Van Daniken was a Nazi, like in comments and stuff.
Oh, everyone's a Nazi. And they're calling that's one of the things they do. That's how they cancel culture. They do that. They did that to the there's a lot of bands that are right now getting blacklisted because supposedly they have Nazi songs or whatever. If you like bother to pay attention to what they're actually doing, like, oh, it's historical, like in death metal, and we're nerds. I'm not gonna lie to you. Most death metal people, we are really serious nerds, and like historically, we'll do like talk about whatever. I got a song about I'm working on that now, about a German crew in a U-boat, and the horrors that they faced. That is the Kriegsmarine was not a nice place. They were outnumbered, outgunned. They had no chance. They knew it when they went out to sea. They knew they were going to die. They basically said goodbye to their loved ones. They weren't coming back. And they were all kids. So I wrote a song about it. It's not pro-Nazi. like there's a band that does all military. They sing about military like events, and they did a song about the sinking of the Bismarck, and they actually went to the location where the Bismarck was sunk on a boat, and they played the song. Like there's a video. The whole video is just incredible, and they actually talk about the history of it, and then the next song would be about the history of Russian, and then the next would be about British soldiers and World War I, World War II, the ancient times, whatever. And it's all historical, like history, like Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden is another nerd band where they're all nerds. Like the whole band is all nerds, like super college educated, overeducated. But they look at metal guys and think we're stupid, when probably more educated than the average person.
Definitely, and I met a bunch of nerds in jail.
I gotta tell you that jail is something that I don't wish upon anybody.
It's horrible.
What you're going through right now, I'm having a similar event going on. It's a horror story that I'm living, and I cannot talk about it. That's why I was surprised you said anything, because the first thing that we were told is not to talk about it at all.
Yeah.
Leader said, "Don't talk about it."
Seems like my big thing is because I don't have it. I'm a clean record that I'm gonna get skirt by it, but it wasn't that bad. I didn't think it was that bad.
Because you know what happens about. You know what a lawyer can do if they pull this show up? Use everything you say as evidence.
Yeah. Well, it should be okay. We'll see, but I understand what you mean. And
not your friends. Anything you say to a police officer can and will be used against you in a court of law. Can and will be used against you in a court of law. So the first law when you come to a police officer is zip your fucking.
Sorry. Oh. The big thing is no one. The only person pressing charges is the state. No one pressed charges.
They won't have a case. But any run-in with police officer, any run-in with police, do not run your mouth. Do not be a schmuck. Do not treat them with disrespect. You better be nice. Shut up, and
or they'll shoot you.
Don't talk. Talk to a minimum. Yes, no. Don't tell them your life story. Don't tell them anything, because everything you say, if you've been read your Miranda rights, says everything you can, everything you say can and will. What part of can and will don't people understand be used against you in a court of law? It's clearly stated in Miranda rights. Anything you say to a police officer, if you say hi, somehow that can be used against you in a court of law. So, and I know a lot of police officers that'll tell you the same exact thing. And now they all have cameras, so everything you're doing is recorded.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out if I want to do no contest or not guilty, but they just do no contest.
Well, that's saying you're better off saying not guilty.
But don't
I'm
you
serious. Never, another rule. Never admit guilt in a court of law. Never admit guilt. That's the first thing any lawyer would tell you. I took enough college courses where I probably could have been a lawyer. I took legal, business legal. That's what I was going to kind of learn. They don't pay shit. And then I took psychology 1, 2, and 3, and then I learned, psychologists don't make any money. What does make money? IT people make tons of money. So
if you do not guilty and it's just a state, won't they just give you another court date?
Nope.
They're not just.
You might actually, but at the same time, you can say, look, I want to go back home. Can you please get permission to go back home? And they'll say, as long as hopefully the other people involved will come in your defense. If not, to be frank, you're fucked.
Oh, you're killing us. Here we go. Supposed to be a blooper.
Hey, I know. I apologize for all the people on the air listening, but I am Johnny Zoltar, the one and only Johnny Zoltar, and I got to keep it real a little bit. I'm sorry. I apologize. But
all right, let's why don't we get to the music? We got about 20 minutes left. Is that enough? You got to sing a song?
Yeah, let me if you want to talk about something, let me go piss.
It's
No,
all right. You're good. You're good.
get some water if I'm
Okay.
gonna. And
See, it's a crazy one. Hopefully, with not F in it.
I'll keep it clean.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, give me a second and let me go get some water.
All right. I'm researching everything with all this stuff. It sucks. I wish I wasn't happening, but it is. Welcome to my life. At least I'm not sweating anymore. That's all I know. Thank God. I was pouring sweat in there, and it was from being sick, I guess, because I'm not doing it now, but it was horrible. Oh, and you have to take a shower in there. Oh, like it's like being in Jabba's palace, and the shower is just like right in the middle where everyone can see you, but there's a curtain with a line through it, so they can't see your naked body, but they can still see you, just not the naked parts. And it's like Jabba's palace, like you're in a gladiator thing. All the lunch tables are around, and then they can just look over, and there you are, showering naked as a jaybird. But the only thing covering you is a line on the shower, like some graphic.
That's
Man,
wild. That's wild.
and so nasty. It's going to be 20 here tomorrow. We're under bad freeze. It's been crazy doing bad freeze stuff, but tomorrow will be 20. That's cold for here, 20.
Yeah, we got hit by that storm, that snowstorm that came through, and we got at my house we got like 22 inches, something like that. It snowed for 30 hours straight. It was epic. Which, by the way, I meant to tell you this. A couple weeks ago, I got a copy of this DVD, which is one of the latest offerings from Small Town Monsters.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Well, it's new. I don't even know if it's streaming yet. It's called The Kinderhook Creature in the Shadow of Sasquatch. It's Bruce Hallenbach. He did a film with Bruce Hallenbach telling his stories about him and his grandma and all the paranormal stuff they experienced. And they interviewed me, and I'm in this.
Wow.
So, wow. I mean, I'm not the only person in it, but I'm one of the authors in it. So
I'm gonna have to check that out. I have a bunch of their stuff, but I'm behind. But yeah,
I'll talk about some stuff. Al Goldback should be here.
Who?
Al Goldback?
Oh yeah, the native dude. I love him. He's great. Yeah, he's been on. I'd love to get him on anytime. He's amazing.
I met him at Necronomicon Convention. We sat for hours talking.
Wham was here for that. Al going back, the Native American horror author in Florida. They're friends. They know Al showed up for him.
Oh, it's
all right. Let's do it. What's it called?
I don't know. Well, according to what this is, it's the Church of Mabus. All right. Somewhat. If you don't like metal, I'm sorry. But I'm experimenting live. Don't do it, but I'm doing it.
There's a church called the Church of Mabus. The guy is craziest.
Oh yeah.
Johnny Zoltar's on the along with Wham. Jeffrey Pritchett. We're having a really good time on care. Don't care.
Of course, it's not my real voice.
We're having a really good time.
Hell yeah.
Oh, we should sing like fun.
UFOs are circling ahead.
Coming to abduct you. Coming to abduct you. Putting things in your rectum. Aliens are probing.
Both happen.
Probing you.
They came from millions of miles just to probe you. What did they do? What did they find up there? Did they find what do they want?
Aliens. What did they do?
Probing you. Because I have no ending here, just repeats. I just got a crazy idea. Poltergeist. I wonder if I can play it.
Hey, Robbie. Hey, Wendy. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? They come for you. What you gonna do when they come for you?
This place on the Indian ground. Now they can arise up from the ground.
Hey, Robbie. Hey, Wendy. What was that sound? What you gonna do when they come for you? Oh no! Here they come. What you gonna do? The Underchicken's coming for you.
This place on the Indian ground. Dead all right on the ground.
Yeah, Wendy, what was that sound? What you gonna do?
It's basically the whole song. That's going to be in the new movie, Poltergeist. So I want to give a shout out to Trauma Films. It's funny. Try to make another version of the song. Like I'll do like everyone else does and make 20 different versions of the same song. After we did the first Poltergeist movie, but we got high. We didn't get it to them in time. That's the truth. Why it wasn't in the first movie? Because me and Mark got high, or Bizarro, as it's called.
I can see you picking up Lloyd Kaufman at the airport. And that's some Fear and Loathing kind of situation.
Oh, I believe it or not, he's a regular guy.
Really?
Very much. Everyone I name dropping. I'm not going to do it. Everyone I know, they're just regular people, man. They use the bathroom and their poop stinks same as yours. They put their pants on the same way you do. They put the same shirt on you do. And everyone's you make enemies. I made enemies. I don't know how I make enemies. I'm like, I don't understand how I make enemies.
Everybody poops.
Except me. Well, except for Kim Jong-il. Kim Jong-il don't poop. Kim Jong-il don't poop. Have a hole down there. He's superior. Kim Jong-il. He's ill. Then he's dying. See, that needed to be. Music takes so much work. But I want to give a shout out to Schecter. This is a Schecter guitar. FR1. I love this guitar. I don't play anything else now. And shout out to Steinberg. Not a shout out to PreSonus, who I am going to curse live. PreSonus is a company that made these reference speakers for me, and all of a sudden they just went. So I have no reference speakers in my studio right now. But what's funny is while I was doing this, I called Steinberg and said, I don't know what's making this sound. And you know what Steinberg did? They sent me another audio interface for no reason. It's a $500 device. Yeah. PreSonus speakers are $129.
Yeah.
Steinberg sends me UR22 for free. I didn't even just on the assumption that something was wrong with it. They didn't even test it. They just assumed, oh, we can't have any of our. See, there's concern with someone coming over to your house and seeing broken equipment, and with their name on it, they don't want that. They don't want you seeing that. So I was really impressed with PreSonus. They're they do have a lot of. I have a lot of their stuff, but I will never buy another PreSonus piece of equipment ever again. And I opened up these speakers, and all the capacitors are blown. And when I called customer service, I said, "Look, there's something wrong here. Something's wrong." And they said, "No, they just come that way. Reference speakers aren't supposed to make sound. That's why they're called a reference speaker, so we can hear what the hell we're doing. Like, the little frequencies.
Yeah.
We need to hear that when we're making music. That's why a company called Steven Slate, which I highly recommend, they have these headphones that are like $500. They're designed to hear the full spectrum of sound, which is very hard to do. I don't have. These are China headphones because I'm on a budget. Punk rock budget.
That girl 84 wants to know where you can find your music.
Everywhere, every streaming site on earth. Amazon, YouTube, Johnny Zoltar, Johnny Zoltar and the Robots, which is more of my AI music, but it's where I kind of start the launching point. AI music, a lot of people say, oh, it's terrible, but that's not how it was meant to be used. I use it to write music, and it is a great way to structure music and learn how to write music. And it will teach you like what a verse is, what a chorus is, what a bridge is, and all the things that you would learn in school if you went to music school. And you could say, okay, I want it in the key of A. I wanted 140 beats per minute. I wanted, this, and you can actually structure it out. And then you take that into your, I use Cubase, Steinberg Cubase. I have 14 Pro and I love it. I won't switch to 15 because it's not ready yet. They just released 15 and it's not ready for the public. Everyone I know that's using it, it crashes on their systems. So 14 works. But you take the stuff out of there, like out of Suno.com, which is a great place to go there if you want to play with making music. You can go there and it makes some really good music. But really and truthfully, it shouldn't be a final song. Like I consider all of the Johnny Zoltar and the Robots, all 95 albums, just demo stuff. Like I have all this material now to use and take into my into Cubase and make it. And oddly enough, what you can do with all that stuff is that you can turn them into MIDI files. If you know what MIDI files are, you could take like everything that's done in AI. So I got to ask you this question out there. People are saying, "Oh, anti-AI music." Well, guess what? Any MIDI music, which is simulated instruments, guess what? That is considered AI because it's not real. So we've been using MIDI instruments since Pink Floyd. Well, what was that? What were they doing then? That's technically with all the buttons and knobs, it wasn't natural music; it was electronic music. It's just the same thing. So. Oh, yeah, they were kind of high.
Yeah.
Pink Floyd.
We got about 12 minutes, about 10 minutes.
Do you know that they were going to release that the Pink Floyd at the in Rome when they the Colosseum when they first unearthed it, the city that got covered in ash.
Pompeii,
yeah. It's called Pompeii, live in Pompeii. Pink Floyd does Pompeii or something like that. And they were the first. The archaeologists just cleared it all out, and the Colosseum that was just cleared out. Pink Floyd went in there, put all the instruments, ran electrical line, all out there, set all their equipment up, dropped about 30 hits of acid each, and went and did live in Pompeii, and it's all recorded live. And I got to tell you that it is a really incredibly beautiful album. And that's when they were all getting along. They didn't hate each other, and Roger Waters wasn't what he is now. He's a monster.
I just saw Maynard was on Steve-O's podcast. I've never listened to Steve-O's podcast, but I might for that one just to see for kicks.
I have talked to David Gilmour quite a few times. The guitarist.
Oh, the guitarist, the Tool.
No, the guitarist for Pink Floyd.
Oh, Pink Floyd. Okay.
All stories are true. He says all stories are true, and you don't know all of it.
You ever go to the Masquerade in Atlanta? I think it's closed now. It's called the Masquerade. Really? I used to see. I've seen Megadeth, Cold Chamber, and a bunch of bands there. Mastodon. I think
played in Team Zoltar. We did in the Demorats. No, we didn't do it in the Demorats. The guys wouldn't go. I think we did it in Black Rose. I think we played up there with Black Rose too. When I was in Black Rose, and we were oddly enough. Back then, it was so early. We did a show where Green Day opened up for us. They were just another twat touring band, and I thought they were kind of good. These kids, they were young kids, and I'm like, okay, these kids got promise. I called them kids. Now they're, we're all old.
They seem like they stuck to their roots a lot. I mean, they're not bad. I like their music. Listen to them.
Yeah, they're playing the Super Bowl this year. That's the whole reason I'm watching the Super Bowl is to watch Green Day, because I was there when they got started. I watched them at their beginning when they, and they kind of grew up with the last bit of lyrics. They, don't talk about poop and sex jokes and all that stuff. Now it's more like, grown up conversations.
I know they just said something about ICE and immigration that caused a lot of trouble, so I'm sure they're going to say something crazy there.
Probably get canceled. telling you, keep your mouth shut about politics right now.
Yeah.
As you know, Jello Biafra would say, the suede denim secret police, they're coming for you and your uncool niece.
Everybody's doing like Ice-T just remade Cop Killer into Ice Killer.
Yeah.
And then I know some other band just remade their song into something. NoFX redid their song that's supposed to be speaking out. Ice-T. Cop Killer. Ice Killer.
Have you you know 6 Feet Under, right?
Yeah. They were in here last time, weren't they?
The band 6 Feet Under?
One of them from the chat was in the chat room, the drummer or something.
Yes, he might have been. Yeah.
He was.
And one of the albums he did was with Ice-T.
Cool.
But
they showed up in the chat. One of them did.
I met him. I met Ice-T quite a few times.
Cool.
Because I always had the strange, funny cigarettes.
Yeah.
I always had those strange, funny cigarettes. Like there's a famous, not famous guy around here called the Medicine Man. And man, if you're from Tampa, you know who the Medicine Man is. He was at every show. I don't care what it is. It could be a jazz. I saw him at a Grateful Dead show before the Grateful Dead, when, you know, of course, Jerry Garcia died and all that. God, that breaks my heart. You know, I have huge influences in the Grateful Dead. To this day, I wish I could find a group of guys that would get up there and have the balls to do music like that. Because it's not metal. It's not, you know, it's more jazz, folk, you know, and they could get up there and play for hours just jamming and playing. That's what the Grateful Dead did. I don't know if you ever seen the Grateful Dead. Did you ever see them?
I know. I mean, I've seen them on videos and stuff, but not live or anything. I play them a lot, but I've never seen them live.
It was. I'm telling you, that was probably one of the most beautiful experiences I've ever had in my life. When I'm talking about people getting together and there being absolutely no violence, just everyone friendly, everyone tripping on the real acid, which now is being used medicinally, and you know, their psychologists are saying, "Oh, maybe it is useful."
I want to say rest in peace, Catherine O'Hara. Just saw that. She's been in so many things, so many movies.
Well, why don't I know that name?
The lady from Beetlejuice, the mother, the mom from Home Alone. She passed away. She was in the studio recently, the show The Studio with Seth Rogen that won a lot of awards, but she passed away. She was like 71 or something.
Yeah. The lady who was the mother in Halloween, the first Halloween.
Yeah.
She was the mother. She was actually the killer in the first movie. I don't know if you remember that.
It's been a while.
She was actually going to be in the movie. She moved out here, and she was going to be in Homicidal Maniac, and then she died.
Wow. Yeah, I saw that about her today, and she's been in so many things. Too many to keep up with. So many.
Sorry, now I'm all hyped up. Playing music, that's what it does.
Hype shit up. Well, we got about 5 minutes. What
can I give a shout out to Poltergeist again, the movie?
Yes.
When it's in Florida, tentatively right now, they come to show the movie, and they're going to show it in select theaters. We're talking Johnny Zoltar may play the song before, live before the movie starts.
Cool.
A lot of setting up just for one song, but it's worth it. You know, so those guys, they work so hard at that stuff. Making movies is not fun. If you think it's all easy, try waking up at 5 a.m. in the morning and working until 12 at night, 6, 7 days a week, and it's nothing but work.
In prison, you go to bed at 11, and then the fluorescent lights go off, and then at 4:30 in the damn morning, they turn them back on and feed you the crappiest breakfast ever that looks like it's scary. I gave most of it away, but just those lights pop on. Oh my God. I was like, what? The whole time, I'm like, this is a nightmare. This is a horror movie. It felt like being in a horror movie.
Stories about Lake Butler. It's up there in North Florida. You know, when you go to the federal, not federal, but the state penitentiary system, I don't know if they do anymore, but the starting point was Lake Butler, and the stories of the officers there, they line you up, and they literally will beat you in line.
Wow. So what is a Zoltar? Is that from the big with the talking thing, animatronic thing that gives you fortunes? Is that what is that
I got it in
name
the
from?
house. I should have brought it in. Yeah, it's the Zoltar machine.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought.
That's where we got it from.
Awesome. I
And
thought
then we
so.
had a private joke that you can just figure out. It makes you big.
Zoltar. That's a wild thing. That's a real thing, isn't it? That's a real machine that exists, or was it just from that movie?
Yeah, and but it also came from was it the Battle of Planets? That's actually, since somebody knows what that anime is, it's early anime. Lord Zoltar, you all see, the commander of the enemy fleet was Lord Zoltar. So we said, oh, that guy, we should definitely make him our Lord and Commander, because it was so funny. All right, we'll kill you all. That's how we talked. It's just funny.
What is that from? What is that from?
Battle of the Planets.
Oh, okay. That's a Roger Corman, isn't it? A Roger Corman movie. Yeah.
Anime, cartoon.
Oh, anime. Okay. I need to find a lawyer, a good Dr. Gonzo type, a Benicio del Toro. I'm too broke for a lawyer. That's the problem. but
you can still get a public defender. Don't think you can't.
But you got to do not guilty.
You got to say not. You absolutely do not say. If you say that you are no contest, you're saying guilt. No contest is admitting guilt.
But can they let it go? If you do not guilty, will they let it go if the one's pressing charges? It's just a state.
Well, yeah. Here's the problem. Okay, let's talk about this plainly. Do you know how much it will cost them to bring you to court and prosecute your case?
A lot.
They're more likely to say, let the case go, if you say not guilty. Because, I mean, except in the most serious degrees where, a guy grabs a knife and slices up, his girlfriend. That's a more serious case. But everyday domestic case, I think they would most likely try to drop it because it's not their best interest, because it's very expensive to bring cases to court. I've won a lot of cases just on that alone. I passed an FBI background level 3 test recently, and I told you why. I didn't talk about that. But I passed a background check you wouldn't believe. You look at me, Johnny Zoltar. How the hell would he pass? Yeah, I did, buddy.
Well,
don't snail.
It's always a pleasure. Thanks, Wham. I hope you stay warm in your vacation, and your minus 10 degrees will be 20 degrees. And we got
461.
And next week is Philip Edward Summers. We're doing a Dexter tribute show, A Time to Kill. The show Dexter. He actually dressed up like Trump and snuck into a Trump rally. I mean, dressed up like Dexter and snuck into a Trump rally. Good one. He knows Micah Hanks and stuff. But we appreciate it, Wham, and thanks, man, so much. It's your third show. You did a trilogy. This is like your Return of the Jedi. We got to get you back for a prequel.
Well, we want to do next time. I would like to maybe do the whole band with the camera in the band room.
Yeah, that'd be
maybe
awesome.
We can record it before.
Yeah, we can figure it out. We'll get you back. It's always a good show. Your
shows
do good. I always do good. But that was a good one. We appreciate it. And everybody, you're listening to United Public Radio 107.7 FM New Orleans. Next week is a Dexter show. The show Dexter, about the serial killer that kills evil serial killers.
Yep.
Zoltar. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good weekend. Good night.
Good night.
Buy my record.